What's going on, traders? It's Ricky with Untitled Solutions. Thank you guys again for joining us for another live stream. I'm going to make it pretty quick. I'm going to be going live for about 30 minutes. There's about 7 minutes till market open. Usually I trade in Arizona, so it's 6:30 Mountain Standard Time. Right now I'm in San Sebastian, Spain. So right now it's 3:23 p.m. And it looks like we have a couple messages going through. All right, but everything is good to go. For all those that are tuning in right now, I do want to thank you guys again for putting time aside and joining us during our live stream. For those that are joining us for the first time, I do go live, and I'm going to continue trying to go live every morning, Monday through Friday when the market's open, kind of just talking about how I analyze the stock, sharing my whole thought process. And then it seems like not only have you guys been tuning in to kind of talk to me, but aside from those that aren't a part of TechBud Solutions already and aren't a part of our group chats, there's a lot of conversations that are in a sense shared within the live chat within this just video. So feel free to continue to share ideas. Again, I'm just going to be talking about what I'm thinking about trading. I'm not too sure if you guys saw yesterday's video. I ended up trading Snapchat and ECYT. I ended up locking in profits way too early for both positions. Ended up locking in profits with ECYT at 155 because that's the resistance I saw. And it ended up going to 162. So I missed out on 7 cents for $1.50 stock. So huge area of opportunity there. And then for Snapchat, I locked in profits right before it hit $18. Ended up hitting highs of like $18.32. So again, areas of opportunity, but I still locked in profits. Overall, it was an amazing day. I got to enjoy the day. I traded for very little time. I got to enjoy the time here in Spain. So thank you guys all for the support. I'm going to start sharing my screen so you guys can see exactly what it is that I'm looking at. And I want to just give a shout out to I want to get Rashad Andrews was like longest 3 minutes because I said I'll be live in 3 minutes. So let me go ahead and start sharing my screen so you guys can see what it is that I'm looking at. The reason that I'm looking at Genic right now, and again, one thing that I want to talk about is before I go live, since I do have I'd like to think I have a pretty large following when it comes to people who invest in penny stocks or in low cap stocks. And I want to make sure that I lead by example. Never trade based on anyone else's opinion and only invest in whatever it is that you understand. One of the biggest areas of opportunity that I like to focus on is only trading penny stocks that have 10% potential. It doesn't mean that you have to lock in 10%. It just has to have, this margin of profit. I'm going to talk about why I think Genic can be a good position today, but I'm going to focus on this area right here. So if we focus on the past 3 days, it has hit lows of about, between the past 3 days, including yesterday, it has hit lows of about 1730. Yesterday or during aftermarket hours, it hit lows of 1720, which was during the market open, the support. So and every single day it's gone above $18. So there's this margin of profit. Oh, wrong. I'm going to go here to drawing tools. I'm going to go to trend line just so I can calculate that percentage for profit. I ended up holding this one overnight. So I bought in right at market close or even after market. I could buy after market hours at 1721. I called it out within the group, just letting you guys know what I was doing. But I told you guys that I was holding at 1721 because again, 1721 was an old support and ended up hitting highs of above $18 for the past 3 days. So I feel like that's a good sell point. So once it goes above $18, if it does end up going above, I'm going to put my stop loss there. Ended up hitting the resistance at 1780, which makes sense because the past couple of days it's had slight resistance, like it struggles to hold above 1780. But I've identified these low points and I've identified these high points, right? 18 being one of the high points, 1721 being one of the low points. Is it always going to work out according to plan? Well, no. That's why you have to have stop loss set. So, managing your risk. Well, I know that the current support is at 1720, so I can have my stop loss set at 1719. Again, minimizing my loss since I got in at 1721. I can stop loss out at 1719. That's less than, almost less than 0.02%, or less than, it's like 0.2% for risk. When my potential for profit, if it simply goes back up to where it has gone back up these past couple of days, 3 days in a row, back up to $18, it's 4.62%. So that margin of profit makes sense to me based on the previous trends of these bounces. It's done that. It's done that consistently within the past 3 days. Does that mean 100% that it's going to do it? No, and that's why I have this plan on where I'm buying, where I'm going to plan to sell and where I'm going to cut my losses. If you guys know anything about me, you know every time before I jump into a position, I know exactly where I'm going to be buying. I know why I'm going to be selling at a certain point, and I know where I'm going to be cutting your losses. It's about, you know, managing your risk. So JNUG is one that I personally am in. But again, if you don't understand it and you don't know and you don't see the potential, don't trade it, guys. There's nothing wrong with taking a step back, watching, see how it plays out, and if later it makes sense to you, great. And later, if it doesn't, then you know I would really want to hear, even within the live chat. I want to hear why you guys probably might not see potential in JNUG. I posted this one yesterday, and there's actually a member that said, "Well, I don't think JNUG is going to go up. I actually think it's going to go down," and that's 100% what I encourage because I want to hear your guys' opinion. Because within TechBot Solutions, having over 24,000 members, we want to make sure that we share best practices and that we share mistakes. And something that you can talk about can be, you know, something that I can take into consideration. That can influence my trade, and it's as simple as that. Rig was also one that I really saw a lot of potential. It actually broke support. I actually did not see that. But within the past couple of days, I know this is one that I've been trading very often. It's a very small position or very small margin of profit, but it's been very consistent. It's been holding above 845 pretty much the entire, you know, past 4 days. And then it has a resistance at around 865, meaning that that's usually a good sell point. So again, the lows and the highs, but it broke that support, as you guys can see, at 845, and it hit lows of 835. But again, it's now showing signs of upward momentum. Looks like we have 15 seconds till the market open. The last one that I'm going to be wanting to talk about is, or not the last one, but Snapchat has a support at 1780, so it's been holding pretty well above that support. And market opens in just a couple minutes. I want to see where ECYT stands. It's at 160, so not much movement there. JNUG 1733, 1735. We might have a couple people just locking in profits right now, so let's see how that plays out. I'm out 5-minute candlesticks. Let's go to 1-minute candlesticks. I want to hear what you guys have to say. And SPI, LPCN. This is one that I was watching. LPCN just skyrocketed over after market hours. Oh, and it's having a huge drop. This is what we call a pullback. So this is something that we can catch at the bounce. So if it pulls back fast enough, there could be a potential bounce at $4.80. As you guys can see, that was an old support. That's where it bounced. So this could be another place where it bounces, and we can buy from 480 to, like, you know, $5 or 521, and that's about 7% profit. But we have to make sure that it bounces, that it holds above the support. So I'm going to change this drawing style. Go to price line, and this is where the support is, and this is where the resistance is. If you guys see this, this is where it bounced, and it does, and then it passed this 520 resistance, but then it bounced at that resistance, meaning that this is a new support, and new supports become, you know, old supports become new resistance levels. As you see, when it broke below 520, it struggled to go above it, and then that's why it had this drop. So let's go ahead and see if it actually bounces at this 480. Not too sure if it will bounce, but we'll go ahead and follow up with it. It looks like it has gone below before to lows of 474, but let's go ahead and see how my position on JNUG is doing. It's at 1726, 27. The reason I didn't lock in profits during market hour, after market hours, is I know I definitely could have at 1750. I definitely had that area of opportunity, but again, the potential for profit that I think I have when it comes to really going above $18 based on the past 3 days. It's continuously been going above $18. The possibility is pretty high. Again, there's always this risk when it comes to trading. It's all about managing your risk and how comfortable you feel in doing it. If you don't understand it and you can't manage it, then, you know, that's one thing. But right now, the RSI indicator is showing that it just hit 27, so below 30 RSI. I know we have buyers at 1722, and then that means JDST must be going up, since this one's going down. So yeah, there's a resistance at $70.50 for JDST. So I'm simply going to put my alert there, because if it breaks that, then I'm going to want to pull out of JNUG. And it just broke above it. No. Yep, and it just broke below the support. All right, let's see where we're going to get in. It's going to bounce. 1710, yeah, it's dropping pretty quickly. So it did break support. One second. All right, setting my orders right now. Sorry about that pause. So right now it looks like it bounced at 710, which is pretty nice. And it's picking up pretty quickly. Little pullback. It broke right through that support very quickly. So again, it had a pullback, which is totally expected. And it bounced at 710, and now it's rising. There's a resistance that there was a resistance at 1730. So let's see if it breaks it. It broke through that 720 resistance way too quick. Like Like it didn't even hesitate to break above that. Like the candlestick did break there, but that's just because that's where the 1 minute mark broke. There is a resistance, as you guys could see, around 1730, and look, it just broke through that. That's pretty solid. Next one's at 17.0 pullback. Yeah, so it bounced back up real quick. I tried to add more to my size down here as it was picking back up from the bounce. If you guys didn't see, I did that with my position on Snapchat. Although I was down, I didn't, buy when there was a downward trend. I bought when it bounced, although, I bought in like at a higher price. But that's just to add more position to a stock that's increasing in value. Again, if that doesn't make sense to you, please don't do it. But just wanted to, again, explain my whole thought process. Pullback. 1720 broke support. Okay, so the 1730 resistance is valid, as you guys can see. I want to hear if you guys want to share what it is that you guys are sharing. So Genic bouncing, thank you for sharing that. Got in at Genic, got congrats, Connor. Got in at a better price than I did. So right now there's a little pullback. I'm trying to add more size, but I canceled my order as it started pulling back down because again I want to catch at the rise, catch it when it's picking up if that makes sense. So appreciate that, man. Thank you, Matthew. Yeah, I did hear about that within our what's it called our Technical Solutions Facebook platform. There was a couple people talking about the tax reform and how that's going to negatively affect um, you know these gold-based ETFs. But overall, I mean, with when it comes to when it comes to these when it comes to these gold-based ETFs, especially within the past couple of days, within the past 3 days, I know, again, I mean, I always have a stop loss set, so that's not necessarily something I'm too worried about because I am managing my risk. But I think, again, the potential for profit, although there is that possibility for it to take effect pretty quickly, I have my stop loss set, and that's going to be at $17. So I'm going to go a little bit riskier with my stop loss. But I think my potential for profit is pretty solid, and it makes sense to me. But definitely, I'm not going to be holding gold anymore after this specific date because I feel like it's just been continuously, if not, this is pretty much what I wanted to share. Within the past couple of days, it has been making new lows, meaning that it used to it was like staircasing up, so showing signs of upward momentum, but it's been just continuously breaking supports, and it's staying at lower points throughout the day, which is definitely not a good sign. So 100% agree with maybe gold shouldn't be something that I invest in long term currently at the moment with this tax reform coming in, but it's definitely something to look into. I definitely think it's something for myself that I can squeeze in a little bit of profit. JDST, if anything, then this one should be going up when JNUG takes a dip. So looks like LPCM broke that support at 480. Wow, rig is just plummeting. That's huge. This thing, I mean, it was staircasing up and it bounced back up, but just continued to drop. All right. So the new resistance should be about 830. So that margin of profit, no, it's not calculating. Let's actually go back to that. It's called trend line. This helps me calculate the margin of profit. It's 1%. It's not worth it for me. PBR, my goodness. These are all breaking supports. This thing had a support at $8 and it had a huge drop to $7.90. I know that might not be huge to a lot of people, but just thinking of in the past couple of days, it's been taking quite a big of a dip. Genic just took a huge drop. Is that 710 support still valid? Okay, it's picking back up. Picking back up. Okay. And that resistance at 1730 is pretty solid. And again, a big issue, and I want to hear what you guys have to say about this. ¿Qué hablas español? I do speak Spanish. Thank you for asking. Sell it at the balance. Okay. I want to hear what you guys have to say about like JNUG and what would you guys do if you guys were in my position. It looks like there's a support at 1710. It's just hanging down here too low. There's a resistance at 1730. So if I buy a little bit more at 17, maybe 15 at the bounce, um, then I can sell again at the resistance and then just lock in those profits and call it a day. I am pretty okay. Yeah. I'm in a little bit over $3,000 right now when it comes to JNUG um, for my position. So maybe I should just lock in profits right now. It's hanging too low at the support. Oh, it's right at 1710. Just broke support 1709. So you're asking when do you sell? Well, I like to sell at the resistance, and it looks like well, it just broke support. So we're having quite a big of a drop. What is day trading? That means when you buy and sell a stock within the same day. All right, well, I'm about to get stop lossed out if it goes below 17. That took a huge drop. Looks like it's holding. My goodness. And again, if I stop loss out, it's all part of the game, right? And that's why you have a stop loss. It's to use it and to minimize, loss. But other than that, I mean, that's really just it. I probably should have locked in profits. Something that, again, the reason that I didn't lock in profits during aftermarket hours is because of the past 3 days, it's been hitting $18. And I felt that opportunity was worth the risk. And it's all about, again, managing your risk. I don't want to say necessarily that I got greedy. Yesterday, I felt that I was very conservative with my trades when it came to Snapchat and trading ECYT. I locked in profits too quickly, and then I left some money on the table. So I felt like with JNUG, I could have made that up today and have been a little bit more, as you guys can see, I usually stop loss out, so I would have been out already if it broke that 1720 support, but I wanted to give it a little bit more room. Again, this is a little bit out of my comfort area, but it's definitely something that I wanted to try out within my own means, right? It's still managing my risk. It looks like it's bouncing right now. If the volume picks up quick enough, if I can get in, get out at 1730, I'll lock in profits there. But if not, then I mean, I'm in this deep. I want to hear what you guys have to say. Not too sure if you guys have said anything. All right. Yeah, it's really struggling to break above this 720 now resistance. So it's just been on a downward trend right now. So what people have been saying, if you guys could see right here, I'm gonna play LPCN at the balance, lock in profits when you can, Ricky. Understood. Wait for the balance. Bought more of Genic at 1707. Take a look at Neos. I'll definitely take a look right now. Wow. Okay, huge rise during aftermarket hours, huge pullback during pre-market hours, and then look, if you guys see this, it had a previous bounce at about 855. It hit a resistance at $9. This is what I mean about identifying potentials or margins for profit. It's where it bounced and where it peaked out at. Yes, it's gone a little bit higher, but really it's $9, right? Support, resistance. So if this doesn't make sense to you, you might want to do a little bit more studying when it comes to identifying these support and resistance levels. But again, it bounced right here. It doesn't mean that you have to get in at the lowest price. I mean, I would have gone in when it goes above 860 if I would have caught it at the bounce, since it bounced almost exactly at where it bounced during pre-market hours. But right now it's at 832. So this margin of profit is 5.12%. And the potential for loss, if you would have gone in at 860 and stop loss that if it broke the support at 854, is less than 1%. So again, it's all about managing your risk. So great call. His name is, what is it? The chief investor. I'm pretty sure you're a part of our group. Not too sure. If you're not, then that's totally okay. But great call on Neos. It looks like it's bouncing right now. Right now, it's a little bit too close to the resistance. Wow, we're actually catching it as it's breaking every resistance. Volume isn't necessarily where you want it to be, though. It's in the thousands, but barely. When I had this huge sell-off, it almost hit the 100,000s. It definitely hit the 100,000 there. Oh, there's a pullback. So slight resistance at like 1885. As you guys could tell, there's an old support there, and then it broke that, and that's what led to this huge pullback. So right now there's a support at 1875. So I'll follow up with this one, but good call. I'm not too sure if I have this one in my watch list, so all right. All right. I was not even looking at my phone for the alerts, but I'm out of JNUG. So broke support, $17. Again, didn't play out the way that I wanted it to, but you win some or lose some. Definitely not a huge loss. It's all part of the game. So that's really just it. I usually, you guys don't actually capture because I trade for about normally 2 hours. And I usually go live during pre-market hours and I share my whole thought process, because you guys watching me like actually trade for like 2 hours I think would be extremely boring, since not even my friends like hearing like kind of like this whole thing, because it's kind of boring, right? You guys, I'm really just staring at a screen. I don't know if I can actually talk nonstop for 2 hours, but thank you guys for watching. I really do appreciate your guys' support, and I hope you guys, in a sense, enjoyed kind of this live video, me just sharing my position on where I was in with JNUG, why I decided to jump in, managing my risk, just my whole thought process. And I hope you guys have found some of the stuff that I talked about today useful. I'll dedicate some of this time to answer some of your guys' questions. Vlad just told me JNUG under 17. Just saw that, so thank you for that. Adam Weber says yes, Neos. Well, if you guys see value in that, definitely go ahead and check it out. I'm pretty much done with JNUG. I might take a look at Rig or LPCN, since those are ones that I've been watching and analyzing. They're ones that I understand. Neos is not one that I'm too familiar with, so it's one that I added to my watch list. And once I perform my technical analysis and understand it a little bit better, I'll make sure that I jump in it. But at the moment, again, don't invest in what you don't understand. And I'm not here to promote a group or provide a platform for anyone that tries to make money off of someone else's losses. One of the things that I do want to talk about is a lot of people have been talking about, like, I've been trying to manage the most. It's pretty difficult. We have over 24,000 people within our community, and it's really hard to manage the Facebook group and as well as all these group chats. And we have a lot of people that in a sense, sometimes feel like they're overhyping stocks. And I 100% agree. I want to make sure that you guys understand the difference of overhyping stocks and just talking about stocks you're investing in. There's people that talk about, oh, let's go. Like, DCTH is one that has been talked a lot about within our community. And I'm managing that within the posts that I approve. I'm not approving all the posts because I don't want the newcomers to feel that, in a sense, that's the only stock that everyone's trading in, just feel like hyped up to jump into that one because, again, don't trade what you don't understand. But there's been people saying oh my God, I just made this much money on DCTH. There's nothing wrong with that. You guys have to understand this is a networking platform. There's nothing wrong with them sharing like what it is that they're jumping into, what's led to their success. That's the whole point of this group. There's a difference if they're telling you, if you don't trade, DCTH, you're dumb, you're losing money, or trying to subjugate you or trying to motivate you to enter a position that you're not comfortable with. Understand, number one rule, and I want you guys to let me know what you guys think within this live chat because it's probably going to go away once it goes out. Like, you guys understand the importance of never trading anything you don't understand. Never trade based on anyone else's opinion. That's always something that I encourage, to never trade based on anyone else's opinion. And I know a lot of new people are going to be watching this specific video, and that's why I repeat this so often. And that's really just it. Other than that, I feel like we've had such an active community within our platform that although I'm in Spain and although there's this huge time change, I'm trying to enjoy the time that I'm spending over here, trading with you guys because it's something 100% that I enjoy to do. And I don't think of it really as a job. I think of it as a very fun hobby that I get to make an extra source of income with. And it's something that I get to share with thousands of you, and it's something so beautiful, right? But I want to make sure that this trip is not dedicated or so involved with me trying to manage a bunch of people thinking that people are overhyping stocks. I have moderators within TechBud Solutions that take care of that, and they'll block you if they really believe that, or you'll be removed, right? That, if they really believe that you're overhyping, anything. And that's, I want to make sure that you guys understand that I'm here to try to provide the best platform, and it's going to be a neutral platform. We're not here to tell you what to trade, and we're not here to tell you what not to trade. All we want to encourage is for people to share their best practices, what's led to your success, and to share their mistakes so people don't repeat them. It's a very simple, in a sense, just like kind of platform that we want to provide, but it's with those simple platforms that I think that we can provide that can lead to a huge rate of success for thousands of people, and that's really what I believe. So that's really just it. I'm gonna answer. I don't know if you guys saw the video that I uploaded. If you guys want to check out my YouTube channel, it's called The Making of a Millionaire, and I did it with like Tanner Fox, Jeremy Bow, and Jordan Bow. It's not this video, not the video. I uploaded like 3 videos yesterday because, again, I was adjusting to this huge time change and I didn't have a Wi-Fi connection. But it's called The Making of a Millionaire, and it talks about consistency. And I did it with Tanner Fox, Jeremy, and Jordan Bew. And they're huge YouTube like creators, and they do so well, right? I thought it was a very fun environment that we were able to talk about within that. So I'd highly encourage you guys to, if you guys can, watch that video. But they asked me to do a question of the day, and that question was asked by just someone that commented on the video. So I'll make sure that I answer it. So that question of the day was, it pretty much asked, what do I formulate success as? So let's see. All right, I can't find it. But yeah, pretty much they asked me, what do I picture success as? And there's a lot of, people usually picture, and I 100% understand why, as like something very materialistic and people with like nice fancy cars. And hear me out on this one. I know this has nothing to do with trading. I'm going to end it. Like this. But I think success has to do a lot with the specific individual that's trying to achieve something. All of you guys that are watching this video, there's 210 of you right now live. There's going to be thousands of you that are going to be watching this video that I don't know if you guys are going to be watching up to this point. All I want you guys to understand is we each, in a sense, idolize success as something else, something specific to our needs. I after, in a sense, achieving my goal for success was achieving being able to buy my GTRs at age 21, something I worked very hard for since the age of 14. And I've shared that story multiple times with you guys. I understood that once I bought that GTR, I was not happy because I understood that that materialistic item could not do that for me. At this point of my life, I am much happier without that specific car because I get to, travel here with my beautiful girlfriend, and I get to spend time with the people that I love to spend time with. And that's what I formulate success as. It doesn't have to doesn't have to be with something like materialistic, as in a huge mansion or something like cars. A lot of people see success as maybe something simple as being able to spend a little bit more time with your family. There's actually a coworker that I have that I think one of the most beautiful things that he has and has succeeded in is that he dedicates so much time and he takes so much pride in spending so much time with his family, and he's able to do that because he can make a good enough income with the specific job that we work at, as well as now he gets to dedicate time to the people he loves, and that's a different form of success. It's nothing materialistic, but it's something more like just I guess success that comes from within. And I want to make sure that you guys understand that whatever it is that you guys are trying to achieve, if day trading is just going to be an extra source of income, if day trading is just going to be maybe a full-time career for you guys, whatever it is that you guys idolize as success, make sure that you identify it, create a plan for it, and then make it happen. It's as simple as that. But I want to encourage you guys, regardless of if it's making $50,000 a year or $1 million a year, it definitely is possible, and especially there's no better time to get this started today. It doesn't have to be with day trading, but based in history, there is no better time to. I mean, there's never been so many millionaires. There's never been so many successful people. If that is what you want to achieve, so you guys know you guys have access to the resources to make it happen. I just hope and wish you guys the best. But like we all know, it doesn't come down to wishing and hoping. It comes down to hard work, understanding what it is that you want to be successful in, creating a plan on how you're going to be successful, and sticking to it. I want to encourage you guys to understand and identify whatever it is that motivates you and makes you, want to achieve this form of success. And to always remind yourself that that's the reason that you're working so hard. That's the reason that you guys are watching this video, and in a sense, separating yourselves from everyone else, right? You guys are different. You guys want more in life than the average person. If penny stocks or trading stocks is not a venture that you guys want to continue to pursue, I 100% understand. But I just wish you guys the best. Just please continue to learn and share your ideas. Share your ideas with others and continue to motivate one another, because that's all I really want. And I hope you guys understand that. Thank you guys again so much for watching. And that's really just it. It looks like Genic took a pretty huge dip to 1674, but right now it's at like 1690. It's almost going to break above. I wouldn't mind getting back into Genic if it continues to rise, but at this moment I'm going to stay away. So again, I'm going to check out LPCN. It looks like a lot of you guys are checking that one out, and I'm going to check out Rig. But that's really just it. It looks like you guys are doing an amazing job, and I want to wish you guys the best. Like always, if you guys can like and subscribe, we'd greatly appreciate it. And like always, let's make sure that we end the year on a green note. Take care, guys.